Hey bestie, welcome in. Don't forget to close the door behind you. Let's get into some things. So I almost didn't make this video just because like I'm in PJs, I have a face mask on, but then I thought, why not? We're going to be talking about how to really optimize your time, your capacity. These are really simple, basic things that anyone can do. I also want to preface this by saying spend the time with yourself to really grow and develop as a person. Don't compare yourself to other people or where they're at. Take the time that you need to grow, to develop as a person, to learn yourself, to learn better your own strengths and your own weaknesses so that you can capitalize on your strengths, and also so that you can be more aware maybe of some of your points of concern. That way you can continue to work on them as you progress and as you develop as this amazing woman that you are. But one of the first things that I want to talk with you ladies about, going to the dollar store and getting yourself one of these. Now I don't want to open it, okay, because some stuff is personal. All right, I know we besties, but still the internet at the end of the day. You do want to get one of these poster boards, the ones that you had to put together when you were like doing your science fair a very long time ago. Get you some thumbtacks, sis. And what you're going to do is print out or cut out anything that you aspire to achieve or attain in your life. Stick it on here on your poster board. I can't tell you how much belongs on here. I can't tell you exactly what to put on here or how often you should revisit it. That's for you to explore on your own. But I am here to tell you that you should have what is commonly known as a dream board. It's really important and it makes a big difference. I'm going to show you one thing that I stuck on here. I'm going to be totally honest because I was not intending on even sharing this, but this is a little kiss mark. Yeah, I just kissed the post-it note and I'm like, you know what? This is going to be me like XOXO promising to myself that things are going to get better, that things are going to go up in life. Try to keep in mind that things are only going to get better for you. Don't ever have the attitude that things are going to get worse, or don't have that scarcity mindset where you're afraid of losing things or letting things go. Just like give yourself a kiss, literally give yourself a kiss to your present, past, and future self, reminding yourself that you are that girl just by your presence, just by your aura. You have to tell yourself that and you have to believe that because you really are that girl, sis. So like I said, seal it with a kiss, mark it down, and that's what it's gonna be. Okay? Really write on your board, customize it, make it special, make it fun, make it motivating, and make it something that you actually want to continue to visit and grow upon. And it's like gonna feel so surreal when some of the things on your board actually come to reality and they actually come to fruition. You have to show up for yourself and you have to be motivated and consistent and stick to your goals so that you can make them a reality. So it starts with the vision. That's why they call it a vision board. But if you actually put what you include on here in action, you can make it your reality. Now, the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is a whiteboard. I can't actually show you my whiteboard because it is on the wall, and also I can't really display and get these at the dollar store, but if you can't find them at the dollar store, I have also ordered these on Shein. You want the ones specifically that have the magnet on the back of them. The reason why is because it's very easy to stick to your whiteboard, so it's easy for you to actually utilize your whiteboard. All of the stuff doesn't matter if you're not actually going to utilize your tools. You want to work smarter, not harder. So you don't want to be getting all these tools and stuff like that you don't know where they are, you don't know where your marker is, you can't use your whiteboard, forget it, you haven't touched it in 2 months. That is going to do you a disservice. Make sure that everything you have is easily accessible, is organized, you know where your things are. So something as simple as having a marker with a magnet on the back of it can make a huge difference. Another thing that I want to talk with you ladies about has to do with electronics. If you don't already have these things or you're not interested in them, then you don't have to get them. But if it's something that you might be interested in, fits well with your lifestyle, then I would suggest these two things. Number one, you want to get yourself a good pair of wireless headphones. Again, like I was just saying, you want to have things that are just easily usable. So I have found that like with the wired headphones, I'm just not using them very often. They're kind of inconvenient. But when you have the wireless headphones, it's much more likely that you actually use them. And personally, I have found that I'm more productive when I have them. It might not be true for everyone. Obviously, everyone is different, but when I have my headphones on, I go harder at the gym. I'm more focused, even at work, honestly, because I like to put like classical music or meditation music on, and it helps me stay focused on my task at work. Or when I'm at home and when I'm cleaning, I also like to play music, and it just keeps me focused on whatever the task is at hand. This isn't something that you have to do, but I feel like it does kind of help us with our focus and getting things done if you have a little soundtrack playing in the background. They've made a huge difference for me, especially at the gym, because for a while I was just going to the gym and listening to the music that they play on the overhead speakers. It was okay. But then once I got the wireless headphones and I put my own soundtrack on, and I'm listening to Megan Thee Stallion talking about body yada 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 yada. Girl, you know how long I was on that stair machine for? Sometimes we need to motivate ourselves. We can't leave it to the overhead speakers at the gym. We can't leave it to whatever happens to be playing on the radio. We have to take matters into our own hands and create an experience for us that is enjoyable and motivating and encouraging. So if you want to do it, get the wireless headphones. I also would suggest getting yourself some kind of, what do they call these, like fitness watches? You can get like an Apple Watch or the Android Watch or the Fitbit or any other brand. It honestly doesn't matter. As long as it counts your steps, I think it's going to be really valuable. I can honestly say that having the watch on my wrist has made a huge difference in me actually wanting to get my steps in, because in a way you're holding yourself accountable. You know, when you're not holding yourself accountable, then it's easy for you to slip up. It's easy for you to not really care. But when you actually have a device on your wrist letting you know that you're 600 steps away from your 10,000 step a day goal, it's objective, it's measurable, it's clear. You know what you've done and what you need to do in order to achieve your goals. Now, obviously everyone's goals are different. I'm just using the 10,000 steps because that's the basic thing. But my point is that if you have a goal, you can set it for yourself, and you can use tools like a watch to keep track of them for you. So again, like I keep saying, this is about making our lives easier. We know exactly what our goals are, we know where we stand, and we know what we need to do to measure up to what it is that we're trying to achieve. So if you're 600 steps short, before you go to sleep, get those 600 steps in. Your watch is going to let you know when you've hit that goal. I'm not playing. This is literally in my desk, in my drawer. My organizational tools. First of all, you want some kind of notebook or some kind of journal. You can put whatever you want in here. You can journal your thoughts, you can journal your feelings, you can journal your dreams. You really want something that you're able to just write in freely. That way you can express how you're feeling on paper, conceptualize your emotions, and process them. That's really important. Another thing that you want is an actual planner. The pages that I've already gone through, I just kind of clip them together so it's easy for me to open it up. And then, boom, I get onto a fresh page. I don't want to show any personal stuff, but here's a blank page. I really like the planners that don't have the dates pre-filled. That way it gives you an opportunity to write your own dates in. Maybe you don't have much going on, you don't have any appointments, you don't really have anything big that needs to be documented, so you skip a week. That's why these planners are like perfect, because like I said, it just says Monday through Sunday, and you can literally fill in your own dates. If you get the planners that are pre-filled with the dates, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of pressure to write things in, even if there's nothing that really needs to go in your planner or nothing that really belongs there. And then you like kind of waste pages and you waste space. So I really like the ones that just kind of leave it up to you to write in your own dates, and then you can kind of keep track of your own life on your own. So personally, that's what works for me, but you do what works for you. Some of these, this is going to be really helpful for organizing your paperwork. You know, print out your taxes, print out your pay stub, help you stay a little bit more organized, keep your papers together, keep your bills together. If you have something like this, you're not just going to have a drawer full of random papers. You're actually going to organize your things, and then you'll know when to throw things away, because if it doesn't belong in a sleeve, then it probably belongs in the trash. So you'll be less inclined to just start hoarding random papers that you don't really need anymore. And then related to that, you can get one of these, and it kind of just has the sleeves in this already. I use these a lot when I was in school, where I would have one of these kind of binders for each subject. It might be helpful if that's relevant for you. There's really no right or wrong when it comes to any of this stuff, it's literally just about being aware that these tools exist, using them, knowing what works for you, capitalize on your 24 hours, be productive and feel organized and feel happy and be healthy. That's really what this is all about. Spending time to learn ourselves, learn what works for you, really just be the best version of yourself. Not for anyone else, but for you. This is your life. So be that main character in your own life, create your vision board, and actually pursue those goals that you have set for yourself. If anyone else can do it, then you can do it too. But you really have to make yourself a priority. Another thing that I want to say about this too, and then this will be the last point before we wrap up, is that just like as a little bit of advice. So when I log on like to work, I need a password. And I was on vacation for a little while and I wasn't thinking about work or about my password. So as soon as I opened up my computer and I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what's the password? I like forgot it. And I started freaking out and I'm like, shh, you know, like I just forgot this password. It's so embarrassing. How could you forget a password that you've been using every single day? And all these thoughts start running in my mind. And then I just am like, wait a minute, Alexis, it's okay. It's okay. You're human. You haven't been thinking about work. You haven't been worried about this password. Just relax. You hear that? That's confirmation. That's yeah, I heard that, right? So, see? Somebody needed to hear this. Just take a moment, breathe, go take a shower, and, you know, before you know it, you'll probably remember the password. It's probably you just getting in your own head and being so stressed out about it that that's what's keeping you from remembering. And that's exactly what happened. I took a shower, and while I was in the shower, and I tried so hard not to think about it because I was already stressing, and while I was in the shower, it just came to me. And I'm like, what was my deal? Like, what was the big deal? Even if I forgot the password, so what? I would just call IT or go to the office and reset it. Big deal. But I think that sometimes we don't trust ourselves. Sometimes we get too caught up in our own heads. And sometimes the problem from 1 to 10 is a level 3 and we make it into a level 7 or 8 or 10 to the point where I'm giving myself an anxiety attack about this password that I know, you know, and I'm so glad that I took a step back and I decided to just take a shower and eventually I remembered it, as opposed to freaking out and like typing random passwords in because I'm in this little whatever was going on and locking myself out of my computer, which would have been way worse. So I think that a lot of this has to do, my purpose for sharing this is that number 1, no one's perfect. Number 2, we're all on our journeys. We all have things that we can work on, and that's okay. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. It's just getting to know yourself. And if you have some points of concern, like I said before, being aware of those points of concern, recognizing them and working on them, knowing when to take a step back, knowing when to utilize your tools, like we've been talking about, to make your life a little bit easier so that maybe you don't end up in some of those uncomfortable situations. Maybe something as simple as writing down your passwords on your planner, on your calendar, even though you think you know them. That way, if it happens that for some reason you forget, you have that information made available to you. I think a lot of this is just about making our own lives easier, not overcomplicating things for ourselves, and being okay when things don't go perfect, but knowing that we don't have to be perfect. It's okay if we make mistakes. And in that interim, there are tools that we can use to make our lives a little bit easier, to be a little bit more productive, and maybe make it a little more likely for us to achieve our goals. So that's it for today. I hope that you found this video helpful. I'm going to go wash my face. Thank you for liking, thank you for commenting and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.